All right, players getting ready to go. Mr. Bip says Roland's decks are always nice to look at. Good reviews coming in. Looks like Roland took a mulligan. Elegant Parlor, Cervelle. Quick, chat. What's the red-green Cervelle land called? Go. First one who gets it, gets it. All right, pizza wins. Undercity Marketplace. Wrong. A challenge for the chat in the YouTube comments. Make up a name for a new land. Just make it sound like a Magic the Gathering land. Go. I will announce a winner. All right, Yosef. Yosef has dug up a basic island. Yosef's been jamming this breakfast deck quite a bit over the last couple of months. Longer than a couple of months. Here's Shuko.
Flux and cards, yeah. Never excited.
6 cards in Yosef's hand. Benucci's Berg taps for 6 mana of any color. That seems broken. So Shuko was on the board. As most of you know, this card is a combo piece in this deck. Combines with either Nadu or Cephalid Illusionist. That's a Misty Rainforest. Char Twin has arrived. Gifts 5 subs. Thank you, Char Twin. Hello, Char Twin. Thank you, thank you. All right, there's an Elegant Parlor found by Roland. Prismatic Vista dumped into the graveyard by Roland now. Johnny not caught pride. Okay, a brainstorm for Yosef. Prediction poll happening in the chat. Go ahead and gamble on this match. Johnny, big part of these Boros Death and Taxes decks here in 2025. Getting a Johnny flipped over into a Planeswalker can be quite powerful. Its number has created Wayward Avenue, a terrible land. Very interesting.
Meow token. Yeah, meow token.
All right, there's a cat.
Last of the week.
I always call this card the wrong name. It's actually Pariah, not Pride. That's a hedge maze. We're going to surveil now on Yosef's side. Surveilling is a big part of Legacy these days, as most of you know. Almost out of time on the prediction poll.
Yes.
All right, the bets have been placed. 92% of the chat says Roland is going to win with Death and Taxes. Win this match. The people have spoken. The predictions are in. Yosef trying to figure out the next move here. Knows that Swords to Plowshares and Solitude are cards that Roland has in the deck. Could disrupt the combo a bit. Gonna fetch here with Flooded Strand. Roland's also capable of casting creatures like Skyclave Apparitions or remove the Shuko at some point. So there is some, I don't know if the word would be urgency, but some desire to go for it, I guess. All right, Nadu has hit the stack. Not going to see Force of Will here.
Cards.
5 cards in Yosef's hand. Nadu resolves. Going to get equipped by Shuko. Prismatic Vista will get cracked here. Nadu and Shuko are good friends. How's everybody feeling about Nadu right now? Is it too powerful for Legacy?
Swords in response. Yeah.
Okay, Swords in response reveals Thassa's Oracle. That will go to hand. Salty says it's fine. Knight Rider says it's too strong. Super Villain says it's fine. AP has resubbed 43 months for AP. Been with us a long time. And says unban Survival of the Fittest. Then let's see what people think about Nadu. AJ Potato says Nadu is annoyingly fine. I think that's how I feel.
That is exceptionally good.
Putting it perfectly. Yeah, in Modern, Nadu seemed super problematic. So Swords of Plowshares did take out Nadu. Yosef got some triggers. Magus of the Moon, that's going to be good here if that resolves. It's going to be great, in fact. It resolves. Roland's happy with it. Attacking for 4, a Johnny and the cat token. AP says the real problem is Shuko.
Oh, now you get 14.
No. Now I get.
This Magus of the Moon is a really big problem for Yosef right now.
Blood Moon? Same thing. Same effect. It is.
We've talked a bit on stream over the last couple of weeks about Nadu decks and especially the Cephalid Breakfast deck. What are the ways to attack it? What are the ways to beat it? Moon effects. Their mana base is just not built to fight through moon effects very easily. Yosef has a basic island right now, which means Yosef can function a bit, but that moon is doing a lot of damage right now. Yosef can still potentially combo off if he gets a Cephalid Illusionist on the board. And it lives to get equipped 50 times. Well, it wouldn't even need to be 50, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Doesn't seem possible, but I guess it's,
Hit subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube. We don't really have sponsors here on 90s MTG. You don't have to sit through me talking about some product. I know a lot of you get fatigued by products very, very easily. So I just avoid all that. That's a Dark Amoeba equipped by Shuko. But you do have to help out, and you can help out in a big way by hitting subscribe for free on our YouTube channel. And go follow our Patreon. That's free as well. And go join the Discord. Do something. Help out. We're doing tabletop legacy streams for you people. So Tail says currently he would also need to shuffle Oracle back into the library. Oh, because Oracle is in. I see what you're saying. Oracle is in hand. Yeah, and we don't have double blue. You're right. I was confused for a moment there.
I guess stage one.
I forgot the Thassa's Oracle was in hand for a moment. we are not affiliated with Dragon Shield.
Bombardiers.
Broadside Bombardiers. Card's good. There's a Narc Amoeba on defense. Likely going to try and flip a Johnny this turn.
Yep.
Declare these as attackers.
Could probably get away with attacking with the moon as well, I guess. Just sack the cat to kill the Narc Amoeba before blocks. Whatever. All right, Johnny will become a planeswalker. What about the spark?
Take 2, and then second main phase, create a token. Then you take, I'll do 3 damage over to you. And then
Okay, Johnny makes a cat, deals 3 damage.
Go to text.
So a lot of stuff on Roland's side right now. The most important thing probably is still this Magus of the Moon. Okay, Yosef's going to try and brainstorm.
Oh, sorry. I knew it. Attack for a reason. Oh, you want to sack some? You want to shoot this. Hit this.
If Yosef finds basic planes, changes things after a swords on the moon potentially. But Yosef's life total is still a concern right now, let's say. All right, plays a Scalding Tarn, so no basic planes is found. Passes it back to Roland, has a Johnny the Planeswalker, a cat token, a Broadside Bombardier, a Magus of the Moon.
One card.
Okay, another a Johnny gets the scoop. All right, Roland takes game 1. Sometimes in deck building, you know, those of us that have played a lot of limited, you compromise the mana base for high upside on the non-land side. Powerful splashes and whatever. Breakfast deck is kind of like that. Every deck has its weak points that you can kind of exploit. Turn 1 Nomads and Core. Turn 1 Vial for Roland. You have threatening combo already. All right, brainstorm.
This Japanese soda casts Menace and wards Day 3 life and Mage Trap.
Aether Vial, such an important card in this Death and Taxes deck. Still in 2025, Aether Vial. Such a good one.
Yeah, basics are fine. You got it.
This is all fucking good. So you just blanks for more.
I talk a lot on stream, or sometimes on stream, about, you know, You can't walk around the Magic community without hearing about power creep and whatever. Look at this board, everybody. Nomads and Core from way back when. What was it, 1997? Aether Vial from 2002 or whatever. Dual Lands from back in the day. Brainstorm, of course. Given new life in Strixhaven and all the other times it's been reprinted. Legacy's so cool.
Pressure on you, and you can't like send back, you raise it like any bounce yet, which comes to keep us active. And then finally,
What about power creep?
like each other's raise it, you have, and that's it. It's purely animated.
Marsh Flats.
The worst for life, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's it. Drop.
So 2 Nomads and Core on the board now for Yosef. Some redundancy if we potentially try to combo. Roland will have to have answers for both. Vial on 1 for Roland's side. As the Vial ticks up, Yosef's going to have to be more careful. The mana base we were talking about earlier, one of the weak points for this breakfast deck. Yosef's first 2 lands of the game were duels. If a Magus of the Moon shows up in this game and resolves, Yosef could be in major trouble. I'm not sure who has priority at the moment. Yosef with hands folded, Roland waiting, it seems. Yosef is a meticulous player. Sinorna says try playing a legacy deck from 2019 and do it card for card. Yeah, we can't have the format evolving over time, Sinorna.
Try to run like a fair.
If you played 2025 Blue-Black Murktide, a top deck right now, in 2015 meta, would it do well? I don't really know. I can't say I know for sure it would.
Only 1 land.
Might get crushed by miracles and whatever. Deathrite Shaman stuff.
Like a bunch of like other boosters. So I could have went on season 2 and refreshed it, or like such a
All right, Cephalid Illusionist is at the stack. This could be a key moment in this game. Everybody watch out.
Yeah.
Results.
It resolves. Uh-oh. All right, we're doing the thing. Starting to mill the library. There's Stats' Oracle.
Someone's gotta do it.
It's really just this card.
Sort of.
Yep. But I mean, just yeah, very much. That's it. Because
It's possible Roland waiting for the right moment to strike. Just milling the library little by little. Have we seen anything besides Stats' Oracle so far? I looked away for a moment. Hydroblast was brought in apparently as a way to deal with Magus of the Moon, most likely.
There's 2.
Okay, there's the 2 Narcomoebas. Okay. I haven't seen Dread return yet. At least if it passed, I didn't see it. Reason I mention it is because it could be in hand, maybe, or something. Well, the library has been milled completely. Roland seems fine with everything happening so far. 1 card in Yosef's hand. More than enough creatures in play, obviously, to sack the Dread Return. Okay, Dread Return was in the graveyard.
Thank you.
Like from way back.
I still will find him out.
Okay, Dread Return is on the stack, targeting Thassa's Oracle. What's the move here?
If I'm being honest, it's definitely not as competitive. But
That's good.
Okay, that is game. Yosef takes game 2.
it's more like
That was pitched to the theory.
Maybe Roland kept a hand with not enough interaction there? Or maybe the double Nomads in Core made the interaction we had kind of irrelevant. The redundant Nomads in Core probably, if I had to guess, shut down Solitude / Source of Plowshares if Roland had the mana open. I don't remember. Would have needed 2 removal spells in response to the Cephalid. Yeah, there was mana open for Memory's Journey as well. All right, so Roland will be on the play here for game 3. Some channel points are on the line. People gambled on this match as we were getting started. Looks like 5,000 channel points are on the line. What are channel points anyway? They're kind of a currency here on Twitch. You build them up for watching a channel. You can spend them gambling on stuff or making decisions. The Twitch chat chooses round by round which matches we will watch. If you're ever watching this later on YouTube and wondering, why the heck are we watching Breakfast versus Death and Taxes? The Twitch chat votes which matches we will watch. So if you want to see more of a certain archetype on our live streams, you have to watch the live stream and vote.
yeah. And like I'm gonna get coffee flavors.
So a turn 1 Arid Mesa for Roland. Passes it back to Yosef. Hedge Maze, Serval.
Sorry, I was like, I need the original.
It's a ghost. Okay.
All right, Meticulous Archive dumped into the graveyard. Surveilling for Surveil land. Now Roland will surveil with Elegant Parlor. Surveil. Salty Moles with a great question. What's your all-time favorite deck, Chris? Okay, so I'm going to interpret this a way maybe others wouldn't have, but back when I was a little kid, I had a mono black deck with Dark Ritual, Hypnotic Spectre, Knight of Stromgald, Order of the Ebon Hand, the Fallen, the Wretched, Necrotal, Black Knight, Hymn to Turok. I love that deck. So many fond memories of jamming that deck against my friends in the school cafeteria and on the sidewalks, against my cousins and family members. I had some Royal Assassins in there for sure. The deck was like all 1s and 2-ofs. You know, this is like a little kid deck. You know, it wasn't like optimized for the meta or anything. And then fast forwarding. In my high school days, I used to go to Neutral Ground, which was kind of a famous store here in New York City for Standard. I played Standard. And I had Blue-Green Madness with Wild Mongrel, Baskin Rootwaller, Arrogant Worm, Roar of the Worm. And a little bit later on, I had Affinity with Frogmite, Mirror Enforcer, Disciple of the Vault, Arcbound Ravager. Good memories back then. That's my answers. My favorite decks of all time. For myself.
Third. Go ahead, Thomas. Yep. Super fun.
So Stoneforge has put Cauldron Complete on the battlefield. The Germ is now attacking. Aggro. AP says I've been known to slam a Serendib Efreet, but Royal Assassin's still their favorite card. I have Royal Assassin and King's Assassin in my cube now. It was just reprinted in Mystery Booster. It's fun with Icy Manipulator.
I'm still under restriction, right? No, still.
Played a lot of Eldrazi once I came back to Magic. And built my first constructed decks. I built Eldrazi for Modern and Eldrazi for Standard at the time. There was no Pioneer yet. And I hadn't started playing Legacy yet. My first Legacy deck I ever played in an event was Reanimator. Yeah, Cavern of Souls on Yosef's side, very pretty for sure. Salty says I was a Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon kid. Played some Pokemon as a kid. Not much, though. I mostly played Magic and the Star Wars card game by Decipher. A few other card games I dabbled with over the years, but those were my two main ones as a kid. I was obsessed with that Star Wars game. I was obsessed with Star Wars as a kid. Obsessed.
This has to, he has to attack for himself. With that,
Yeah.
My things as a kid was like Magic, Star Wars, and Legos. If they ever do a Lego set for Magic the Gathering, forget it. I'm going broke. I don't even own that many Legos anymore. Like, I haven't bought a Lego in a long time. Actually, that's not true. That's not true. Every once in a while, I'll buy a minifigure pack. Anyway, Prismatic Ending takes out the Germ. Pretty good for Yosef to slow down the clock here. Moving through this game a little bit slowly, so we're chatting with the chat a little bit. Players are being careful about their decisions. This is game 3. Cauldron Complete kind of lonely on the battlefield right now. Stoneforge attacks.
Yeah, that's true.
It's your
Nothing feels for
I'll
us.
play Vegas.
Yeah, I think, I don't know.
Vegas.
Magus of the Moon. Yosef has the white mana available.
Fair enough.
Magus of the Moon was so good in game 1.
Is he like cool with her? I guess he would like this. Like Stomp.
Robert's asking, what do people think about this red-white Death and Taxes? So, Roland knows what's up. Roland knows how to jam some Eternal Magic. Some of the people watching this channel might not be aware. Roland, back in the day, both a champion of Eternal Weekend Legacy and a champion of Eternal Weekend Vintage. Roland has a really nice resume when it comes to competitive Magic. Competitive Legacy, competitive Vintage. All right, just passing the turn, leaving the Magus of the Moon alone for now. Akaleth, who is a Death and Taxes player, says it's good. Bombardiers and a Johnny, very strong. Power Blast, great against the stock-up decks. Makes sense. So attack for 3 comes in. Yosef will drop to 10. Wasteland shut off at the moment. A little bit of a funny situation. If you remove the Moon, Roland gets a Wasteland. Ah, another Magus of the Moon. That's going to be a problem. Mark Hughes, thank you for the sub with Prime. 28 months. Good to see you in the chat. What's up, Mark Hughes? Force pitching Narcomoeba on the Magus of the Moon. Okay, so disaster averted, I guess. Avoided? Swords on the Magus. All right, we've cleared all the moons for now.
So this guy's MVP.
Yosef's mana is back up and running. Urza's Saga comes down now safely. Urza's Saga not great with Blood Moons on the battlefield.
How many cards? I have 4 cards.
In fact, it just goes straight to the graveyard. AP with a great question. Where is Urza's Saga on the spreadsheets? Yeah, is Urza's Saga on the watch list? Does anybody know? Could someone check? Storm, thank you for the resale with Prime 6 months. Appreciate it. Which mechanic is more of a mistake, chat? Storm or Living Weapon?
Interesting. That popular. You like to put that.
6 minutes? I was like on the subway riding here. I'm like, there's no way I play it here. And then I played that.
All right, Mark Hughes says Living Weapon. There's one vote.
What percent of the meta is initiative?
For anyone new around here, the ongoing joke is that every set and every mechanic was a mistake. The whole game is a mistake.
Not working out.
According to the people on Reddit. The supervillain says, I mean, you can enchant the germ. So, yeah, big thing. Mark Hughes making a great point. Kicker went too far. I agree. What were they thinking?
No, I don't know if I'll ever get back.
All right, moving a little too slowly here, if I'm being honest. Judge call if this is competitive. Yes, we're trying to figure it out. There's a Saga now on the board. Nomads and Core. Cephalid Illusionist, attempting combo. Roland's going to respond by swording the Nomads. That is the right thing to do. Nomad's gone. Shuko now. Big attempt here at combo.
I mean, I guess, it's also
Roland's going to have to eliminate the Cephalid Illusionist or have a way to stop the combo in another way. Could be Solitude. Okay, Equip is happening. Roland's going to let that resolve. Nothing interesting in the first activation. All right, just passing the turn. Playing it super safe here is Yosef. Yosef has no cards in hand, it looks like.
It's considered a mana ability, right? I mean, you can use it in Spirit Guide.
It's a special action.
Fascinating.
Roland's Wasteland is unlocked. We could see that hit Urza Saga here. Its comma is Yosef in the chat pointing out that a Narcomoeba was pitched to Force of Will earlier. That is a good point. I forgot about that myself. Excuse me. Harry Houdini, who knows a thing or two about breakfast, is not sure how you pass the turn there. Seems skeptical. The Narcomoeba being exiled right now, though, is important to point out. You do need to sack creatures to dread return.
Chainsaw. It deals 3 damage to a target creature when it ETBs and then gives Revs counters.
Okay, so Chainsaw getting put into play. It's going to target the Illusionist. Illusionist triggers. It dumps some stuff. Nomads and Core and Nadu get dumped into the graveyard. I'm sure Roland's not upset to see that.
Everybody do.
You have 0 cards? Nothing. Okay.
No cards in Yosef's hand. Yosef in a tough spot right now. Chainsaw took out the Illusionist. You can re-equip Shuko over and over with only one creature in play. You can equip the same creature over and over again. That's something that people new to Legacy tend to not be aware of. You can equip the same creature over and over. But as Yosef, who's its comma in the chat, is pointing out, you do need enough creatures to sacrifice to Dread Return, and one Narcomoeba was pitched to Force earlier. So needed to pass the turn. So Urza Saga has ticked up. Roland didn't go after it with the Wasteland. Instead went after Hedge Maze. Yosef found a fetch, though. We'll see how that decision works out. I think the going after Hedge Maze is potentially a good call because Nadu is a major threat. But Urza Saga, as most of you know, a powerful card, can make some constructs here. But maybe Roland feels like the constructs are not a big concern, which is fair.
Yeah, it's like
I didn't consider the Hedge Maze play myself. I like that decision, though. Pre-war formal wear is found. Activating pre-roll from the Stoneforge now, the other Stoneforge. And pre-roll formal wear is going to bring back that Magus of the Moon. That's pretty brutal, as Akaleth points out in the chat.
I'm gonna fetch.
Yeah, Harry saying it makes sense to pass the turn with a Narcomoeba in exile. AJ Potato with a question: does Roland run Thalia? I believe so.
Okay.
I'm attack for 4. 10. 10. Initiative.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think so.
A 9-2.
So it's a 2/2 right now.
Okay, another Shuko. It's a decent find.
Yes, these are all attached. Okay, yeah, gotcha. So it's a 5/3 right now.
5/3 construct.
Fury.
Attack.
Pitching dinosaurs.
Draw.
With that.
I'm going to
Which enchanter has a land of 8?
swords it.
Swords to Plowshares. Now attacking with the Magus, the 2 Stoneforges.
Then I'll bring Yorion in. Sure. And I'll pass.
Oh, wait, you play on tap. Oh. Well, I guess I don't have to play on tap.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
vigilant.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Magus had Vigilance. Yorion was added to Roland's hand, which could be pretty mean. Hey, there's the answer to the question. There's Thalia.
1? Yes.
5. Right. 4.
5. So it was last turn. It was actually 6. It was
I'll
because
just
this is +2/+2.
Stay at
So it would take
11,
another
play
one.
on tap.
Yeah.
That's
So
So
right now
this
it's
time it-
currently
this time
1,
it's
2
4.
plus 4 is 6.
So this time it's 6.
Yes,
as
this
well?
time it's 6.
Okay. So I take 6.
Okay, I guess there was some mistake on life totals previous turn. Now it's been corrected. Yosef drops to 4. Yosef is in major trouble.
Ponder.
Okay.
Doubt will do anything.
You're room 1, 2. Yeah.
Okay, it looks like we've reached extra turns. This is turn 1 of extra turns now. I missed hearing time called,
Why
but
did you go for it?
The problem was I exiled Narcomoeba to a Forcible,
Okay.
so I only had 1 creature and Narcomoeba. So I needed 1 more. So what I
Ah.
needed